This chapter begins with Dr. Shepard reflecting on the recent death of a patient, Mrs. Ferrars, and the immediate implications it has on his life, particularly concerning his gossipy sister, Caroline. As he arrives home, he anticipates a breakfast interrogation and finds his suspicions confirmed, leading to a tense conversation about the nature of Mrs. Ferrars' death. Mrs. Ferrars died on the night of the 16th-17th of September, a Thursday. I was sent for at 8 o'clock on the morning of Friday the 17th. There was nothing to be done. She had been dead for some hours. It was just a few minutes after 9 when I reached home once more.
F front door opens with the sound of a latchkey, then closes.
I purposely delayed a few moments in the hall, hanging up my hat and the light overcoat I had deemed a wise precaution against the chill of an early autumn morning.
Sound of a coat being hung up.
To tell the truth, I was considerably upset and worried. I'm not going to pretend that I foresaw the events of the next few weeks. I emphatically did not, but my instinct told me that there were stirring times ahead.
The rattle of teacups. A short, dry cough.
Is that you, James?
An unnecessary question. Who else could it be? It was precisely my sister Caroline who was the cause of my delay. The motto of the Mongoose family is, "Go and find out." If Caroline ever adopts a crest, I should certainly suggest a mongoose rampant. She can do any amount of finding out by sitting placidly at home. I don't know how she manages it. I suspect the servants and the tradesmen constitute her intelligence corps. When she goes out, it is not to gather information, but to spread it. At that, she is amazingly expert. And it was this trait which was causing me such indecision. Whatever I told Caroline now about Mrs. Ferrars' death would be common knowledge all over the village in an hour and a half. As a professional man, I aim at discretion. So, I've gotten into the habit of withholding all information possible from my sister. She usually finds out just the same, but at least I have the moral satisfaction of knowing I am in no way to blame. Mrs. Ferrars' husband died just over a year ago, and Caroline has constantly asserted, without the least foundation, that his wife poisoned him. She scorns my invariable rejoinder that Mr. Ferrars died of acute gastritis, helped on by habitual overindulgence in alcohol. The symptoms of gastritis and arsenical poisoning are not, I agree, unlike, but Caroline bases her accusation on something else entirely. "You've only got to look at her," I've heard her say. Mrs. Ferrars, though not in her first youth, was a very attractive woman, but lots of women buy their clothes in Paris and have not, on that account, necessarily poisoned their husbands.
What on earth are you doing out there, James? Why don't you come and get your breakfast?
Just coming, my dear. I've been hanging up my overcoat.
You could have hung up half a dozen overcoats in this time.
She was quite right. I could have.
Footsteps, walking into a room.
I walked into the dining room, gave Caroline the accustomed peck on the cheek, and sat down to eggs and bacon. The bacon was rather cold.
You've had an early call.
Yes, King's Paddock, Mrs. Ferrars.
I know.
How did you know?
Annie told me.
Annie, our house parlor maid. A nice girl, but an inveterate talker. I continued to eat my eggs and bacon. My sister's nose, which is long and thin, quivered a little at the tip, as it always does when she is interested or excited.
What?
A bad business, nothing to be done. Must have died in her sleep.
Good. I know.
You can't know. I didn't know myself until I got there, and I haven't mentioned it to a soul yet. If that girl Annie knows, she must be a clairvoyant.
It wasn't Annie who told me. It was the milkman. He had it from the Ferrars' cook.
There is no need for Caroline to go out to get information. She sits at home, and it comes to her.
What did she die of? Heart failure?
Didn't the milkman tell you that?
He didn't know.
After all, she was bound to hear sooner or later. She might as well hear from me. She died of an overdose of Veronal. She's been taking it lately for sleeplessness.
It took it on purpose. Don't tell me.
It's odd. When you have a secret belief of your own which you do not wish to acknowledge, the voicing of it by someone else will rouse you to a fury of denial. There you go again, rushing along without rhyme or reason. Why on earth should Mrs. Ferrars wish to commit suicide? A widow, fairly young still, very well off, good health, and nothing to do but enjoy life. It's absurd.
Not at all. Even you must have noticed how different she has been looking lately. It's been coming on for the last 6 months. She's looked positively hag-ridden, and you have just admitted that she hasn't been able to sleep.
What is your diagnosis? An unfortunate love affair, I suppose?
Oh, remorse.
Remorse.
Yes. You never would believe me when I told you she poisoned her husband. I'm more than ever convinced of it now.
I don't think you're very logical. Surely, if a woman committed a crime like murder, she'd be sufficiently cold-blooded to enjoy the fruits of it without any weak-minded sentimentality such as repentance.
There probably are women like that, but Mrs. Ferrars wasn't one of them. She was a mass of nerves. An overmastering impulse drove her on to get rid of her husband because she simply can't endure suffering of any kind, and there's no doubt that the wife of a man like Ashley Ferrars must have had to suffer a good deal.
I had to agree with that, and ever since she's been haunted by what she did, I can't help feeling sorry for her. I don't think Caroline ever felt sorry for Mrs. Ferrars whilst she was alive. Now that she is gone where Paris frocks can no longer be worn, Caroline is prepared to indulge in the softer emotions. I told her firmly that her whole idea was nonsense. I was all the more firm because I secretly agreed with some part of what she had said. But it is all wrong that Caroline should arrive at the truth simply by a kind of inspired guesswork.
Since, you'll see, 10 to 1, she's left a letter confessing everything.
She didn't leave a letter of any kind.
Oh, so you did inquire about that, did you? I believe, James, that in your heart of hearts, you think very much as I do. You're a precious old humbug.
One always has to take the possibility of suicide into consideration.
Will there be an inquest?
There may be. It all depends. If I am able to declare myself absolutely satisfied that the overdose was taken accidentally, an inquest might be dispensed with.
And are you absolutely satisfied?
I did not answer. I just got up from the table.
Sound of a chair scraping back and footsteps walking away.